It seems Square Enix is finally moving away from console exclusives for the time being. But is it for the reasons everyone assumes it is? I bet right now everyone is saying Final Fantasy 16 or Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth are the culprits, and while they probably didn't sell as much as Square wanted, they still did pretty well. Can you take a guess how many games Square has released in the last 4 years? Now guess how many were exclusive to PlayStation, and how many were exclusive to Nintendo, etc., etc. Well, the answer may surprise you. Between 2020 and 2024, Square Enix released around 47 games. Out of those 47, only 6 were PlayStation exclusive, and 9 were Nintendo exclusive. And some of those even came to PC eventually. The other 32 games were multi-platform. So I'm seeing all these headlines about how Square is finally going multi-platform. They always have been. It's few and far between they go exclusive, and when they do, they are paid well by whatever company wants the exclusivity. So let's go over some of the exclusive examples. I'll start with Nintendo. They had the collection of Saga, Bravely Default 2, Triangle Strategy, Chocobo GP, Harvestella, Dragon Quest Treasures, Paranormal Sight, Kosogo Danshi, and Dragon Quest Monsters. Some of these eventually came to PC as well. Now, for PlayStation, between those 4 years, they had Final Fantasy VII Remake, Babylon's Fall, Forspoken, Final Fantasy XVI, Foam Stars, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Again, some of those came to PC or will be coming to PC soon. Now, out of those, Babylon's Fall tanked, and Forspoken didn't do very good either. And I'd say Foam Stars isn't doing good, but it could have some legs. But Remake, 16, and Rebirth were probably the best of that group, even if they didn't sell as well as they probably hoped. Still, now, as I said earlier, they also released 32 other games that were on multiple console platforms. Now, that's a big number, which is why I think Square is going to switch to a more quality, over quantity approach and have most, if not all the games at this point, multi-platform, which is kind of what they've already been doing. And sometimes exclusivity deals are better for the company when someone else is footing the bill. Also, another thing exclusivity does is lower cost. For example, Sony mitigates the advertising and marketing cost for the Final Fantasy games, which usually make up at least a third or half of the budget. Sony headlined Final Fantasy XVI at all their big events, and it cost a pretty penny to have a game be a headliner for a major gaming company. They also help pay for ads, both physical and online. Sony also provides ease of access to their engineers and team. Yoshi P mentioned that the super easy access and loans of Sony's engineers made the development process significantly smoother, and his team and Square did not have to pay for the exclusive on-demand access. So why is Square talking like going multi-platform is a new thing for them? They are a third-party company, and 90% of their games are multi-platform. It's just a lot of the games don't sell too well, and they are spreading themselves too thin. Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO, also isn't making as much money or generating more subscribers like it used to. It's kind of dwindling down now. It's been around for almost 10 years. So at this point, I would just focus more on quality over quantity, which is where I think they're probably going to be heading. Unfortunately, because of these diminishing returns, Square Enix is set to lay off, an unspecified number of employees across its US and European offices, which are headquartered in California and the United Kingdom this week. According to those in attendance, Square Enix president Takashi Kiryu delivered this news in a company-wide meeting. They announced a new medium-term business plan. Square Enix reboots and awakens, 3 years of foundation laying for long-term growth. Square Enix is rebooting itself, pursuing a multi-platform strategy that includes PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and PC in the process. This comes from the company's latest financial earnings report, which details Square Enix's 3-year reboot plan for long-term growth. Within this reboot plan, they have 4 pillars. Enhance productivity by optimizing the development footprint in the digital entertainment segment. Diversify earnings opportunities by strengthening customer contact points. Roll out initiatives to create additional foundational stability. strike a balance between shareholder return and growth investment and allocating capital. All of this, especially in regards to major franchise and AAA titles, including catalog titles, it will build an environment where many customers can enjoy these titles. So they're also planning on expanding to more, strategy for SD, smart devices, PC, browser stuff, iOS, Android, and also launching, day and date with PC. It depends on how well these games do on platforms like Xbox. Take Final Fantasy 16, for example. The game might not have sold to expectations, but since they were exclusive to Sony, they handled a big chunk of the marketing and the cost, and had their team of developers aid in its development. Take that away, and Square needs to stand on its own in terms of sales. Will Xbox make up enough of the revenue if Sony isn't there to help? Can these kind of games run on Nintendo's Switch or even the Switch 2? You can argue PC sales will help, but Square is already doing that with Final Fantasy. The only difference is now they're probably going to do day and date with PC instead of a 6-month or a year delay. It's hard to predict if this strategy move will have any benefit to Square Enix, but I guess we'll just wait and see the sales numbers for the games when they release. I just hope the people they plan on laying off soon find work quickly, and I wish them nothing but the best.